wabarakatuh. Hi everyone, nice to meet you all. My name is Yunita Anggraini from the Accounting Department, Faculty of Economics and Business, University of Trunojoyo, Madura. Before I share my presentation, I will ask you a question. How big is the poverty level in Indonesia, and what is the influence of pandemic on the poverty rate in Indonesia? If you don't know, let me explain to you in this occasion. In this presentation, I will discuss about poverty in Indonesia due to the COVID-19 pandemic. The purpose of my presentation is finding how big the poverty rate in Indonesia due to the COVID-19 pandemic and how it affects. Now, I will divide my presentation. Poverty is a situation of inability to fulfill basic needs such as food, clothing, shelter, education, and health. Poverty can be caused by scarcity of basic needs or difficulty in accessing education and employment. In this chapter of poverty, I will take an example of poverty that occur in Indonesia due to the COVID-19 pandemic. President Joko Widodo has determined the COVID-19 pandemic as a national disaster. This pandemic has a significant impact on various sectors of life. One of the examples is in economy sector. The Minister of Finance Sri Mulyani Indrawati said that in a very tough situation there will be an increase in the number of poverty figures. In the midst of the COVID-19 pandemic, as it is today, many people experience difficult time. This pandemic make many people must work hard to survive. With the spread of the COVID-19 pandemic and the implementation of large-scale social restriction, many societies experience a decline in income and lost their jobs. This condition is estimated to have the potential to increase the number of poor people in Indonesia. The number of people that experience poverty in Indonesia increased due to the pandemic. This increase in the number of poor people occurred due to the impact of decreasing public income since the coronavirus or COVID-19 pandemic entered Indonesia in March 2020. In addition, it also influenced by the increased price of basic commodities such as rice, chicken, meat, cooking oil, eggs, and sugar. The COVID-19 pandemic not only made the poor vulnerable to poverty, but also make the poor even deeper and deeper into poverty. It can be seen from the table of poverty rate in Indonesia. The Central Statistic Agency record the number of poor people in Indonesia as much as 26.42 million in March 2020. With this number, the poverty rate is 9.78% of the total national population. This number increased from 24.79 million people or 9.22% of the total population in September 2019. It's also higher than 25.14 million people or 9.41% of the total population in March 2019. The dynamic of the poverty rate in March 2020 is an early indication of the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic on the level of wealth of the population in Indonesia. The hope is that this condition will not get worse in the next few months. The causes of increasing poverty. First, the COVID-19 virus. Second, many business bankrupt. Third, many employees laid off. Because of the COVID-19 virus, Indonesia made the implementation of large-scale social restriction, which result many people not leave the house because afraid the COVID-19 virus. This also result many business close for a while and the impact their income reduced. Because there is no more capital to open a business and actually many business bankrupt. Meanwhile, many people who work in office or factory affected by layoff because factory or office also reduce employees, so they don't pay too much employees. All economies become difficult and the impact raises layoff of employees. The impact of poverty. First, crime increase. Second, decreasing health as a result of which many diseases appear. Third, starving. Fourth, high unemployment. Five, high mortality. Because the community does not have enough income to fulfill their daily living costs. Finally, many commit crimes such as stealing, robbing, and so in order to finance the necessities of life. In addition, due to the economic crisis caused by this pandemic, many people die because of hunger, their health has also declined, and many employees lie off so that unemployment increases. Example of facts that occur in poverty due to the COVID-19. Mrs. Yuli, a Banten resident, would because of starvation. Mrs. Yuli Nur Amelia, a resident of Serang, Banten, during this pandemic, only rely on her husband's income to transport garbage from housing. Her husband give money every 2 days. As a result, Mrs. Yuli and her 4 children drink only plain water for 2 days to endure hunger, until one children also has to drop out of school because there is no cost due to the economic hardship of the COVID-19 pandemic. Mr. Aston, a Batam resident who sell the broken handphone to buy rice to feed his family. Mr. Ason, a resident of Batam. His father of 5 children cannot work a job anymore because no one wants to employ him due to the COVID-19 virus outbreak. Finally, he ventured to sell his broken handphone to buy rice to feed his wife and 5 children. Mr. Oma, a resident from Bogor who steals gas cylinders for food until beaten by measles. Previously, Mr. Oma is unemployed at Sandal Factory. However, since he laid off, he forced to steal because he has no money to live with his wife and 4 children. Mr. Oma is caught by residents when he steals a gas cylinder so that he judged by the measures until he is beaten. Portrait of poverty in Indonesia. It can be seen from the picture that there are still many underprivileged Indonesians who need help from the government. So, that is all about my presentation. In conclusion, the government should ensure the availability of food for the community and social assistance program for the less fortunate. But it is not only the government that must intervene. We as a society must also continue to care for others by providing basic food donation for local people who need, in order not to starve. Thank you for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bye-bye.